The way I started was actually funny because I wanted nothing to do with this industry whatsoever. I think since for probably 20 years, maybe 19 years, I told both my parents, I was like, I don't want anything to do with dealer source. This is your guys' thing, has nothing to do with me. Yeah, so I will say I was really, I think my main concern coming in was I didn't want to have that stigma of being owner's kid. So my main thing was I told both my managers, Shelly and James, who've been with us forever, but I told both of them, if you guys give me any special attention, I'm gonna be upset. Like, just treat me like you would treat anyone else. If you're gonna yell at me, please yell at me. Don't do it in front of my dad because he might go pop a bear on it, but just kind of I need to learn it. I'm more pumped up just about growth since I've been a part or been in outside sales. I've been in outside sales now since last April 1st last year was my first technical full-on outside sale. I've seen nothing but we're kind of just creeping up every month. So it's been exciting to kind of just see the progress that's being made, and we're getting into different things. My managers hate me because I'm putting them in things that we've never done. But for me, it's exciting. So I'm enjoying it. We just did a Tommy Gate not too long ago. We've never done one. And I was like, guys, we're going to try it out. I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I think the worst that's going to happen is we're going to end up eating it. I was like, but we're going to make that up later on. I was like, let's just see if we can do it. It turns out we can do it. So now we know we can do the next one and just things like that. So that's my main excitement, just being a part of it. We're still doing sunroofs where we're accidentally putting a sunroof in the wrong car. And all of a sudden we have a hole in a wrong Camry.
Done that before. So
I got in trouble the other day for putting too big of tires on a car. But I was like, no, they look great though. And they go, but it's rubbing. I was like, that's okay. We're going to cut it. We're going to make it look great. But
welcome to the Ride in Style Podcast, your turbocharged pit stop for automotive restyling. Buckle up with Jesse and Josh.
Welcome to episode 53 of the Ride in Style Podcast with Dylan Brashler of Dealer Source. Just so you guys know, two months ago, we interviewed Rick Brashler of Dealer Source. So this is almost like a part two, but first time for Dylan. Welcome and thanks for being on our show, Dylan.
Hi. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Gen 2. All right. I like it. So yeah, we got a lot of questions for Dylan here. But number one, start off. Why is Master Bruce your nickname?
Okay. Is that how it pops up?
Yes.
Okay, so when I was a kid, so first of all, my favorite superhero is Batman. So
okay.
When I was a kid, I used to have Siri, and I turned Siri into a British man. So I wanted him to be Alfred. So I made Siri call me Master Bruce every time I asked him what my name is.
Nice.
So now it's my contact.
So when he calls you, it's like, hey, Master Bruce is calling you.
Oh, it's even funnier because it actually made it as my contact for my dad. So when my dad has to call me, he has to actually type in Master Bruce.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You make your dad call you and he has to talk in a British accent?
Yeah, I stopped calling him. He has to call me now, so he has to see that contact every time.
Awesome. So how long you been with Dealer Source officially full time now?
So now I'm coming on 2.5 years.
Wow.
So it's definitely been a wild ride for sure.
So what did you do when you started, and then where are you at now? What are you doing now?
Yeah, so when I first started, I started back in 24, and it was March of 24. The way I started was actually funny because I wanted nothing to do with this industry whatsoever. I think since for probably 20 years, maybe 19 years, I told both my parents, I was like, I don't want anything to do with dealer source. This is your guys' thing, has nothing to do with me. So when I came back from college, I was trying to find jobs, and my manager, Shelly, I'd be in her office applying on LinkedIn and on Indeed. And she told me, she goes, why don't you just come try us out? I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want anything to do with it. And she goes, are you doing anything better? I was like, honestly, not really. I was like, I'm trying to apply to be a bouncer at a bar and a server at a restaurant. So not really doing anything else. So she said, just come shadow for a day and see if you like it. You can just do a half day. We'll take you out to lunch. And then if you like it, we'll try it out for 6 months. said, okay. So when I first joined, I shadowed as an inside rep.
Yeah.
And that first half day, I have never been so lost ever in my life. So I went in, like I said, March of 24, and they sat me down next to the inside rep, and I'm just staring at CAT scan order entry, looking at pattern numbers, and it just looks like gibberish to me.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Y2K NO and Y2K NOP. I don't understand the difference. What's front? What is bucket seats? What is a 40-20-40? And what is a 60-40 rear split with an armrest? So that full half day, after they took me out to lunch, they go, "You want to try it out?" I was like, this to me, it's kind of like doing like Duolingo, like trying to learn a language. So I took it as a challenge, and I said, "Yeah, I'll try it out." So since then, I was inside rep, and I was an inside rep for about 8 months until they brought me outside and let me do the rest.
Wow. So, all right. So now you're on the outside, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're in your mom's old territory, right?
I am.
So are any of the managers the same where they're like, you're like, oh, where's Diana at? And you're like, Diana's not here, but I am.
Actually, yeah. So it's funny because when I first started, there was only maybe 2 managers that actually knew who I was. So they'd be like, "You're Diana's kid." I'd be like, "Yeah, I am." And then the other managers who did know my mom, they wouldn't know me until I gave them a card. And then they'd be like, "Brashler, are you Diana's kid?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And the ones who actually didn't know I was a son, because I don't tell anybody. I don't tell anybody that my mom was the owner or anything like that. So I kind of just go in, and my favorite thing is when they try to tell me stories and they're like, "Oh, I've known Diana for 20 years. And I remember she used to come run around." I'd be like, "Oh yeah." She'd be like, "I wonder what she's up to." I'll tell her, like, "She's actually in Austin." "Diana?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've known her for a while. I call her." And some of them don't question it. Some of them are like, "Oh, okay, it's kind of cool, Diana." And I just leave it at that. So it's been fun.
So tell me, what are the pluses and the negatives working as the second generation, coming in and now other footsteps and everything? It's never always perfect, but it's always never as bad as people sometimes think.
Yeah, so I will say I think my main concern coming in was I didn't want to have that stigma of being owner's kid. So my main thing was I told both my managers, Shelly and James, who've been with us forever, but I told both of them, I was like, if you guys give me any special attention, I'm gonna be upset. Like, just treat me like you would treat anyone else. If you're gonna yell at me, please yell at me. Don't do it in front of my dad because he might go Papa Bear on it, but just I need to learn it. And so my main concern was I just wanted to get the respect of everybody, especially the technicians, the other reps, and all the drivers. So I really worked hard on that aspect. Of course, they're going to give me a little bit of jokes about it, but
Sure.
I think I would say after about 6 months, they kind of realized that I'm not just here because I'm owner's kid. I'm actually putting in the work and definitely trying to make something of it. So that was my main concern. That was the negative. As far as positive, obviously, yeah, it's not that bad. Everybody's really welcomed me in with open arms. The dealerships I talk to, the people that do know I'm my mom's son, they love me. They think I'm super cool. They've told me even straight up, it's like, "Hey, look, if you're screwing up and we don't like it, we will tell you." I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Just give me some constructive criticism. That's all I ask for." So it's been pretty good. It's been not going to say easy, but it's been more smooth than I thought it would be, I would say.
Dylan,
So
what's your average day look like? Tell us about what do you do now and what's that look like on a typical day?
Yeah, so technically, I guess you could say my day starts the night before. So being an outside salesperson, they do route me. So I got a Google Calendar where they show where I'm gonna be going the next day. And what I'll typically do the night before is go to my A account or look at my A account, see what they got on their lot, and try to figure out what packages and what I want to sell them. The moment my day really starts is I wake up, I'll go to the office for a good hour and a half, do a download with my manager, talk to my dad a little bit, see what's going on in the shop. Is there something I need to go talk to a manager about? We behind on product, or is everything going smooth? Once I get that download, then I'm off to the races and just going to talk to dealerships and pull some stock units and see what else I can make.
Go ahead, Jess.
I was just going to say, what's been the biggest challenge? So you grew up around it, right? And I'm assuming you didn't care when you were younger. Maybe you're absorbing it, but then now you're really in it. Other than dealing with family, what's been the biggest challenges so far?
The biggest challenges, honestly, was probably just learning it all. So to me, one of my biggest learning curves was trying to figure out the process, our process. We use QuickBooks to process all of our invoices, and we use Zoho as a CRM. So that was the first thing I needed to learn, was how to integrate the CRM, how to use it, apply it to QuickBooks, and how to order a leather kit. Like I said, that order entry, when you first look at it, looks like gibberish. And then and leather's our bread and butter. So I really need to get that down first. Besides that, that's been the big thing, honestly. It's just trying to learn every product we have. There's always a new product coming out. I'm just now learning about Luxwood, for example. And I've been on the phone talking to Jonathan over there, trying to figure out his product, and I want to learn it and use it to dealerships here, talk about shipping and what I should price it out. Another big thing that I was looking at is, for example, a fifth wheel. I didn't know what the labor was for a fifth wheel and certain truck accessories. Lift kits were a weird stretch for a second, but it's just like anything. Once you get it down, you do it a couple times, you start to get the hang of it and you start getting quicker about it and you become more informative about it. So that's definitely been the hardest part of this entire thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about Pro Select Committee. So now you're officially, congratulations, by the way, you and Jesse, both, look at you guys. You guys are on Pro Select Committee. What made you want to get into Pro, and now how do you feel being on Pro?
Yeah, the whole reason why actually I joined Pro was it all started actually with my first time ever going to SEMA. So I think I was maybe 6 months in to working with dealer stores, and I was going to SEMA. So I remember the first day I go in, we go to the SEMA Pro award ceremony, and my dad's introducing me to everyone, to Craig, to Ron, a couple of the other pro guys at the time. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I go to the Catskin party and I see Josh running around being loud. And my dad goes, hey, that's Poulson, by the way. And I'm like, okay, so that's Poulson. Because for some reason, Josh, your name has popped up all the time. I've always known you. Even when I was like 5 years old, my parents would talk about Poulson. I'd be like, I don't like Poulson. I like Josh Elliott at the time.
That's right. Me too.
So I thought it was cool when I first met you at SEMA. And then I met Colby too. I had a meeting with Trim Illusion that first year. So meeting Josh, Colby, Rod, and them, I was like, okay, now I know a couple more people. The whole reason why I actually got into Pro was I was at a Topgolf event later on that evening, and I spoke to Hannah. And me and Hannah were chatting. She brought her, at the time, it was her social media person, Savannah. I think now she's GM or something, but Savannah was my age. So I was like, okay. I was like, there's someone here that's my age. I'm gonna chat with them. And Hannah just won Nat Dana's Person of the Year, so I was excited to talk to her. And she was just telling me she had no idea who I was, but she's talking to me. She's like, you need to join Pro. We need young people like you. She's telling me all the benefits, all the cool things that's happened, what's benefited her with Pro. And it just opened my eyes a little bit. I was in it just thinking I'm just going to sell leather. I didn't care about truck accessories, commercial, anything like that. I was focusing on selling leather day to day. So for her to tell me everything that's benefited Pro, or that's benefited her just by being a part of Pro, it got me super excited. And I remember I'm leaving Topgolf and I go, Dad, I need to be a part of Pro. He's like, yeah, give it a year. I was like, no, I need to be a part of Pro. He's like, yeah, just slow down a little bit. You'll get there. Okay. So I didn't listen to him at all. I called Josh. I said, Josh, I need to apply for Pro. So he set me up with Kevin and Denise and tried to get me in. Obviously, being new, they didn't let me in the first year. But that's when I decided to volunteer for Pro Cup Challenge and get more involved. And I get to know just a little bit about everybody.
That's awesome. So what advice would you give to other young people that when it comes to Pro or other networking or other volunteering, what advice would you give?
Don't be afraid to ask. I would say this industry, there's a million different things and a million different councils. Maybe if you don't want to be a part of pro, but you want to be a part of Tora, if you're more looking for truck and off road, just go and ask the question. A big thing that I do, and I tell everybody that I call Josh, I call Colby, I call Kevin probably every other week, and I'm sure I annoy them, but I'm calling them just to ask questions and what's going on. I know Colby's part of SEMA board too, so I'll even just ask him, hey, how was NADA? How was just these other things he'll post along the way that I looked interesting. And then knowledge is power to me at the end of the day. So the more you know, the more it could benefit you, I think, later down the road. So
That's
for
great.
me, it's just super exciting.
Especially getting started young. You got a lot of potential to get to know a lot of people. So that's great.
Dylan,
Absolutely.
What are you most excited about? Either your future in the business or the industry itself? What are you most pumped up about?
I'm more pumped up just about growth. Since I've been been in outside sales, I've been in outside sales now since last April 1st last year was my first technical full-on outside sale. I've seen nothing but we're kind of just creeping up every month. So it's been exciting to kind of just see the progress that's being made, and we're getting into different things. My managers hate me because I'm putting them in things that we've never done. But for me, it's exciting. So I'm enjoying it. We just did a Tommy Gate not too long ago. We've never done one. And I was like, guys, we're going to try it out. I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I think the worst that's going to happen is we're going to end up eating it. I was like, but we're going to make that up later on. I was like, let's just see if we can do it. It turns out we can do it. So now we know we can do the next one. And just things like that. So that's my main excitement, just being a part of it.
That's awesome. What about, and maybe this is a question just to get a refresher, maybe Jesse, you comment on this too. What is Pro working on right now, and where do you guys see Pro going over the next couple of years?
I know right now we just got, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it a new board member or director that we got?
Yeah, it's our liaison to SEMA. So
that's right.
Some things are shifting out. I think the big focus is still the Pro Cup Challenge, though. Wouldn't you agree, Dylan? It's like better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No, gotcha. I think everybody's been so gung-ho about Pro Cup. Obviously, when it comes to Pro, that's definitely our bread and butter. And I think that's what a lot of people are starting to live for when they come to SEMA. It's just to see that Pro Cup Challenge and to see the display on it. So I think our main thing that we've been working on primarily with that is just getting more members involved and trying to encourage them to go out there and get a car and to show it off. Like, for example, Josh, the car you showed off last year at SEMA, that car was incredible. And that's something that's unique. Not everybody does that, or not everybody knows you can do that to a Lexus, for example. And Dino really knocked out of the park with his black label too. So I'll call Nick Stanley on it and ask him, what are you guys pricing this at? Let's get things rolling here. So that is definitely, I would say, the main thing we're working on. I think it's that, and then obviously everything gets political. It's still you're still working with SEMA. So I think everybody's still trying to work on different things for the SEMA board too.
Jesse, anything to add to that?
I think we're all doing a better job of trying to get the manufacturers involved and then trying to coordinate better with dealerships. I think in previous years, it was about the vehicles and the restyler, which is great. It still is. But now there's more discussion about, wait a minute, how do we get more cooperation with the manufacturer? How do we get their dealership on board earlier? How do we help them? How does the ambassador help the restyler to do that? I think that's been improved this year. And that's a big deal, right? It may be, some people look at it as incremental gain, but I think these are just important steps to make it better, make it more of a solid program. And the overall organization's better every year. This year, it's just even more organized, getting ahead of it. So I think that's going to help promote it better overall.
Yeah. That's great.
100%.
It came out of the gate really crazy. To see what you guys have done with it now is fantastic. So that's great. No, that's awesome. Dylan, before we let you go, and Jesse always has the last question, but I also want to know, any mistakes or things you're like, what, I'm never selling one of those again. I can't do that. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, there's definitely been a couple. We actually did, when we were doing the Tommy Gate, on this van, like I said, first time we ever did it, First of all, we did do the Tommy Gate, but it wasn't obviously 100% done per se. We had a couple of random tweaks, but the big problem was we were adding bracing for E-tracks. We were putting E-tracks and bumpers on the van.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that on the van they had a legend wall liner. We didn't look behind it to see if there was already things we could put on behind it. So it ended up being a misquote, and we had to brace everything. And immediately my manager told me, we're not going to do this again. This is too much.
We lost our butt. See, that's the great thing about sales. The worst thing can happen is you gave something away a little bit less than you would. It's not like you blew up a car or anything.
No, it's not like we're still doing sunroofs where we're accidentally putting a sunroof in the wrong car, and all of a sudden we have a hole in a wrong Camry.
Done that before. So
I think everyone who's done sunroofs has done that at least once.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was my most recent one. I got in trouble the other day for putting too big of tires on a car. But I was like, no, they look great though. And they go, but it's rubbing. I was like, that's okay. We're going to cut it. We're going to make it look great.
But, a little shaving.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're going to tell them, hey, we're going to cut it, but it looks great. They loved it. It sold quick. But yeah, definitely got yelled at for that one too.
I love the energy. I love the youth movement that Dealer Source is doing, and keep it up and keep bringing new ideas and fresh ideas. Thanks for joining Pro and being part of the volunteering. Looking to see how your career moves along. So I'm excited for you.
No, I'm super excited. I'm still looking forward to just SEMA this year. I was just telling my dad that. I was like, SEMA's coming up. I was like, what are we doing? And
let's get those roofs.
I love being a part of it. Yeah, I think we already booked it, so I think we're all good there. But yeah, if I can get off the island, I'll take any day I can.
Dylan, how do people learn more about you and Dealer Source, website, social media? Where should they how do they contact you if they have questions?
Yeah, if you have questions to me, you could always contact me. My phone number is always available. If you're curious about what we do and what we offer, our social media is very transparent and shows just about everything. And we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I think just about all of Meta. Our website's more like a catalog base, but we do have a gallery, so you can even look up. If you're curious, you're like, well, what does a car look like with red leather? We installed a car with red leather, so it shows just about everything.
Yeah.
But those are the main places to reach me: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and my phone number.
Cool.
Awesome. And those are what? dealersourceltd.com? Is that what it is?
That's the one.
Dealer Source Ltd. Check out on Instagram and Facebook and everything. Thanks for being part of the show, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
We'll see you in a few months at SEMA.
Yep, I'll see you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
And there you have it, another high-octane episode of the Ride and Style podcast, revved up and ready to go. Your hosts, Jesse Stoddard and Josh Poulson, shifted your automotive game into overdrive. If you're hungry for more insights, trends, and game-changing interviews from the automotive restyling universe, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a glowing review. We'd also love for you to share this podcast with your gearheads, installers, and auto lovers network. Because remember, knowledge is power, but shared knowledge turbocharges the whole industry. For more expert resources to supercharge your business, cruise on over to autostylemarketing.com, your one-stop shop for everything automotive marketing. Until next time, keep those wheels spinning and your passion ignited. Thank you for riding in style with us. See you on the next lap.